welcome to Storytime to Go. Today we are at the funnest store in town, Tri-D Arts, where you can come in and make your own art, buy tons of art supplies and really fun gifts. And today we have a really cool story to share with you about an artist, actually an illustrator, which is called Aaron Slater Illustrator. At the end of the garden, in the soft fading light, when the day turns to dusk and the dusk turns into night, the sweet scent of jasmine floats into the air to mix with the music of laughter. And there, Aaron D. Slater soaks it all in. With his flowery blanket tucked under his chin, words drift like music, melodious, mild, a sweet summer song for a sweet summer child who drifts off to sleep as the cottonwoods sway at the end of the garden, at the end of the day. It's summer, then summer, and summer once more, and soon Aaron D. is a youngster of 4. The jasmine climbs higher, the roses have grown, and Aaron himself has a spot of his own. 4 seedlings and saplings beside a slate walk, which he illustrates daily with a bucket of chalk. But what he loves most, what makes Aaron's heart sing, is to listen to books in the old garden swing. To write stories, he thinks, is the greatest of things. But first, he must read. It's the best place to start, and young Aaron wants to do with all of his heart. But the words are just squiggles, and try though he might, even with help, Aaron can't get it right. Why can't I do it? Why is it so hard? He goes back to drawing on the slate in his yard. It's school time at last. In his sunflower socks and poppy red jacket and with matching lunchbox, he marches to class with a teacher's bouquet, ready to read by the end of the day. But he doesn't that day, or that month, or that year, and though he makes progress, it's painfully clear he'll never quite get it like all of his friends. Since he'll never stand out, he decides to blend in. And so here he is at the start of grade 2 in his simple white t-shirt and matching white shoes. He tries to keep up, to blend in, and to hide the tangle of feelings he carries inside. At first, it goes well, since his teacher is new and a bit overwhelmed by the hullabaloo. But things settle down and Miss Greer finds her stride, and once she gets rolling, there's no place to hide. Class, she says, here's an assignment for you. Write me a story, write something true. And so Aaron does what young Aaron must do. He works on his story like the rest of grade 2. He writes through the evening, he writes through the night, he writes and he writes till the dawn's early light. Then he drags off to school with his shoes filled with lead and his stomach in knots and a pain in his head. And he waits for his turn with his heart filled with dread. Miss Greer calls his name, and Aaron D. stands and unfolds the sheet in his trembling hands. And he reads, well, he tries, but it's so hard to start with 33 eyes peering into his heart. So he stares at his shoes and his sunflower socks, then he closes his eyes, and then young Aaron talks. Once there was a flower. No, wait, I know. Once there was a magical flower which gave all who held it extraordinary power. And so began the most perfect of tales of an imperfect hero whose courage fails when the day turns to dusk and the dusk into night, and the moon rises high and the dragons take flight, and who learns after all in the wee morning hour strength comes from the heart and not magical flowers, that beauty and kindness and loving and art lend courage to all with a welcoming heart. There he goes. And when the quest ends and the sweet flower dies and the students all gasp and Miss Greer cries, the silence that follows rattles his heart. He tries to say something, but where could he start? He turns in a paper with no words at all, then blinks back a tear and escapes to the hall, where Miss Leela finds him by the slate-colored wall. Time stops for them both, the teacher and boy. His heart fills with anguish. And hers? Hers fills with joy at the soul of this artist, courageous and true. She smiles and whispers, "Aaron, thank you." When she leaves, Aaron stands there a very long while. Then slowly, so slowly, he begins to smile. And he feels like he does with those books in the swing, as a new hope inside starts to make his heart sing. And he knows he can do the greatest of things in a way that's his own, in a way that's just his. He can stand out and show the whole world who he is. Like the mightiest flames that banish the dark, hope grows in the soul from the tiniest spark. His art makes the difference. His art leads the way and helps him discover what he wants to say. And his reading gets better. Of course, it's still tough, but each day that they work is a little less rough. Like all imperfect heroes at the start of a quest, he must do what he can and hope for the best. Now, in the hallway, a new garden grows with jasmine and poppies, a rambling rose, books, art, and music, a dragon or two who soar through a sky of delphinium blue. The art tells a story, melodious, mild, furious, fragrant, wonderful, wild. It's all from the heart, and all of it's true. For Aaron, Miss Greer, and the kids of grade 2. It's a place full of beauty for one and for all, the Illustrator's garden at the end of the hall. And that is the end of our story today. Thank you so much for joining us, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!